we just got through a major heat wave, but summer isn't even close to over. So how do you keep your pets safe in extreme heat? Here to give us some tips and give us the scoop on pet insurance is Catriona Kendall from U.S. News and World Report. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and I should say we've got this amazing Schnauzer, Lincoln. What a well-behaved.
Yes.
He's only 2 years old. I can't believe it, how calm he is. And I see that he's got his little booties on, and I was going to ask you, it has been so hot, and the pavement is so hot.
Yes.
So as pet owners, how do you suggest we make sure that that pavement isn't too hot for our pets to walk on?
Yeah, there's a quick test you can do actually.
Okay.
If you just put your hand flat on the ground, if it's pavement or asphalt or sand, those get a lot hotter. So if you can leave your hand there comfortably for 7 seconds, then it's okay for your pet to walk on. If you can't do that, it's probably too hot for them. So you can try walking them on the grass or dirt instead. That's a little cooler. You can also try walking them earlier in the day or later in the day when it's less sunny, or just keep them inside if you can and give them more mental enrichment. If they're willing to wear little boots, like Lincoln here is, then that can also be a really good protective barrier for them.
Okay, that's fantastic. And there's no shortage of really great pet stores around the DC area to find these cute little booties like Lincoln is modeling right here. And then of course, you know, if a pet does get overheated, that can become a medical emergency pretty quick. Catriona, what are the things that pet parents should look for in terms of the dog not doing so well in the heat? Yeah,
heat-related illnesses can be really dangerous, and luckily there are some warning signs. Obviously your pet can't just tell you how they're feeling, but you can look for if they're panting really heavily or excessively, a lot more than normal, if they're drooling excessively, if they've suddenly become weak, lethargic, dizzy, if their tongue or their gums change color, suddenly become like a really dark purple or red or get really pale, that can be a sign. So if you want to look for all those things, and if you do suspect that your pet has heat stroke or some kind of heat illness, you want to get them to the vet as soon as possible, but it's really important to cool them down first. So that is really important before you even go, because you want to get their temperature down really quickly. So using cool water and not putting a blanket on them that can trap the heat around them if it's wet, but like a fan, well-ventilated space, and just get their temperature down as soon as possible. What
about getting them wet indoors? Is that a good idea if they're overheated?
Yeah, water can help a lot to cool them down. You may not want to just like dump them into an ice bath. There's some different studies. Yeah, there's some different studies of whether that's actually helpful or if it can hurt, but cool water can definitely help you. Like apply it to their ears, their belly, their paws, and that can just help them cool down a lot, and especially if it's ventilated.
Okay, great tips. And then of course, once you do bring them to an emergency pet type of visit, that can be a little expensive, but we need to do it if they need it. Catriona, how much are these treatments? Like how much could that cost? And then I guess the second question, insurance, how does that help cover some of those costs?
Yes, I think all pet owners know that vet bills can get crazy expensive. We did a study at U.S. News which found that 2/3 of pet owners have had to pay $500 to $3,000 for an emergency vet bill. So with heat stroke, it's going to depend a little bit on how severe it is, but you might be looking at, on top of the vet visit, like the cost of IV fluids, that can be around $100. If your pet needs other medications, that can add hundreds more. Other tests and treatments could run you up to even a couple grand or more. So that can be really expensive. If you're worried about the cost of a sudden vet bill like that, you can get pet insurance, which will cover the cost of that. You'll like pay your premium every month. For a dog, it might run around like starting at $70 maybe. So you pay that, and then when you do have an emergency, like heat stroke, for example, then pet insurance can step in and cover those out-of-pocket costs for you.
Yeah, that sounds a good peace of mind. Is that something like if you don't have pet insurance right now, you can just call and get it started right away this month?
Yeah, you should be able to just, and we have a lot of research about different companies you can go to usnews.com/pet insurance, and we have a bunch of information about different companies, links you can go to, you can get a quote really easily online, and then just set up your policy right away, and you can compare different policies to really see like what the best option is for you, what the cheapest option is.
Okay, yeah, because it can be a little overwhelming if you're not sure, so it's nice to know that there's a resource that kind of has already done the homework for us.
We've done all the research for you, so you can go and compare different options and really see what the right one is for you.
All right, well thank you so much for being here. Lincoln, you've been a real good boy. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course. For a list of the best pet insurance companies of 2026, check out usnews.com/pet insurance.